Welcome to the Swim Swam podcast. I'm today's host, Coleman Hodges. Joining us today, he is an NC2A team champion with the Texas Longhorns, NC2A All-American, and most recently, American record holder in the 400 medley relay, as well as the number 4 performer all time in the 100 breast, going 49.71 this past weekend at the Texas Hall of Fame invite. We are sitting down with Nate Germonprez. Nate, how's it going?
It's going great. Thank you so much for having me.
The Swim Swam podcast is sponsored by Commit Swimming, the only club management software built exclusively for swim teams. Since 2015, Commit has been the go-to for coaches writing workouts, planning seasons, and tracking performance data. National level coaches around the world rely on it every day. Now Commit brings that same swimming first design to team management, combining workouts, performance, meet entries, billing, communication, websites, volunteer tracking, and more, all under one roof. Make the switch off Go Motion to a simpler, more powerful solution. Book your demo today at commitswimming.com. Excited to talk to you about this past weekend, about really just the year that you've had with Texas under Bob Bowman and with this team that again, in Bowman's first year, won an NCAA title, and it's seemingly just rolling and has been rolling from there. So just to focus first on the Texas Hall of Fame invite this past weekend, mid-season meet. You guys have hosted this meet for at least a couple now. But what were your expectations heading into this meet, knowing that last year it was also quite a fast meet?
Yeah, I mean, so looking at the team as a whole, we're doing great during training. So I think expectations were pretty high. I mean, we definitely wrestled a little bit for it, so we knew we had a really great chance to throw down some solid times. So I think the team expectation was pretty high, and then me personally, I always set really high standards for myself. So going into this meet, I expected a lot. I think I did pretty well on that, especially in the 100 breast, and I think it was a solid meet overall.
Were you thinking, did you have best times in your head?
Yeah, I always want to go best times, and I have time markers that I want to hit throughout the year, and aiming towards the end of the year at NCAA's. So yeah, going into this meet, I definitely had best times in my mind to go, and yeah, I think I did pretty pretty well with that. It was a solid drop and a good week.
Yeah. Did you feel, especially this meet this year compared to maybe this meet last year, just with another year under this coaching staff, and with this team, did you feel a bit more comfortable or a bit like you knew what to expect out of yourself at this meet a bit more, knowing that your body has maybe adapted to the training a little more?
For sure, yeah. I think one thing when training under Bob is we're basically ready to race year round, even when we're in heavy training. Uh, the mindset going into the meets is you're going to race fast, you're going to swim fast, and you're going to put it all out there. So I think having a year of that under my belt really helped me at this meet compared to last year. Um, I was able to treat it like it was a NCAA final, and I kind of knew that I was capable of going fast, even if the environment wasn't quite the same.
It's kind of interesting talking to a lot of Bob Bowman's athletes, and it seems like maybe the NCAA landscape as a whole has kind of adopted that mentality of racing fast all year, because we certainly weren't always used to seeing that, that's still maybe the case for a lot of swimming. But I think specifically in the NCAA now, it seems like people are swimming fast a lot more often. How do you feel like you have adjusted to that Or, again, with just another year under your belt, do you feel like that's taken some time to get used to swimming fast all the time, or every time you step up on the blocks, it's like the expectation is
Mhm.
going relatively fast for where you're at in the season?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was definitely an adjustment, uh, throughout my high school career and, even my freshman year at Texas. I had good swims in season, but I wasn't a great in-season swimmer. Um, I remember at the SMU Classic my freshman year, I split a 20.8 on a 50 free from the swing.
Mhm.
So I like just not the best in-season swimmer, and I I really like the mindset change that they brought. I think it gives me more confidence going into bigger meets. Um, I have more practice with the events, training at that speed or racing at that speed. So like I know that if I was able to swim the 49.7 that I swam at Invite, I know that I'll be able to replicate that or better at the end of the year. So I think it gives me a bit more confidence leading into the bigger meets.
Yeah. So let's talk about that 49.7. First time under 50 seconds in the 100 breast. You're 2/10 off the all time NCAA and US Open mark set just last year by Julian Smith from Florida. Going into that race, and four guys from Texas went under 51 seconds in that
Yep.
100 breast final. Tell me about just the energy that you had, that the team had going into that final, knowing that you guys were the top four seeds, and you um, had a shot at that record, but also just going under the 50-second barrier.
Yeah. Well, I think as a whole, we knew we all had a chance to go fast. Um, and I forget who mentioned it after prelims, but someone said we all had a chance to go under 51. Um, so I think as a whole, we had high expectations, and the morale was pretty good. And then for me individually, after I went 50 flat in prelims, I knew I was going to break 50 in the finals. That's just the finals atmosphere, a bit more adrenaline. You just dig a bit deeper. So for me, I knew I was going to get under that mark. It was just how far really. Um, and I think it was solid. Um, but yeah, huge props to the rest of the guys. Campbell going 50.3, and then Majin Schultz breaking 51. Yeah, it's a great time to be a breaststroker at Texas.
No kidding. I mean, I think that final, that heat alone changed a lot of people's perspectives on Texas breaststroke as it currently stands. But uh, for you specifically, do you focus on something? Are you thinking stroke count? Are you thinking trying to hit my turns? Is there something you're focusing on during that race?
Yeah, for sure. So I'm always counting my strokes, especially in short course. So
Mm,
I know if I'm gonna have a good 100 breast, I'm gonna be 4.667 for my stroke count. Um, so that's one thing I'm always focusing on. And then if I can increase my tempo while still being that stroke count, I know that the
mm,
swim is going to be faster. Um, and then turns are another huge part. We do a lot of explosive training in the weight room, and I've been putting a lot more emphasis on that. So I think my turns have seen improvement. And then my pull downs as well have seen improvement. So I definitely break it up into chunks. So the first 25, get to the wall as fast as you can in 4 strokes. No more, no less. And then nail the turn. And every pull out is complete max effort. You
mm.
want to get as much distance on that as you can, as quickly as you can. And then once I'm on the surface, it's just all about stroke count.
Yeah. Nice. Did you see anyone else during that race, or were you just solely focused on your race?
I'm pretty focused on my race. I saw Campbell. I mean, he wasn't too far behind.
Yeah.
So I definitely saw him on the turns, and I knew he was having a swim. So yeah, I definitely see people. It's not my focus, not my main focus.
Yeah.
I try to just keep my eyes on my own lane. But I do see people, and it's good because it pushes you a bit more.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, speaking of that, I have to assume that the breaststroke training group is pretty stout. Are these the guys that you're swimming with most days, specifically Will Modglin, who we know as now the American record holder in the 100 back and the fastest man ever in the 50 back.
hmm Yeah, so my week, it kind of varies who I train with.
Mhm.
Usually Monday mornings, like a power work, and I'll do racks with Maj. He's usually doing backstroke,
Okay.
and Schultz, who is breaststroke with me. So I'm usually racing him on power work and like fast 25s on Monday morning. And then Monday
Mhm.
night, we all group together and we do 200 pace. So that's usually where like the majority of breaststrokers kind of train together.
Mhm.
So Campbell joins me. It's me, Campbell, Schultz, Carson's in that group. Baylor
Ooh.
joins that group. There's like
Okay.
a ton of people who join that group on Monday night for the 200 pace. And then Friday is another pretty big breaststroke pace day power work, similar to Monday.
Mhm.
Um, oh, and then Wednesday evening is like our 100 back end sprint work. So we'll do like
Gotcha.
repeat 50s or like a couple 25s and then a 50,
Mhm.
just like kind of repping it out on a good amount of rest to get some quality work. But I'm usually with Schultz in that group, and then Jack Kelly as well. He's training with us, so
Oh,
I'm
right.
with him
Yeah.
Monday mornings. I'm with him basically every day, actually.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, that was yeah, I remember we reported that. That's such a cool story. I mean, I have a few follow-up questions to this. First of all, I'm just curious about Monday morning, starting the week off like that with power, and with, like, explosive 25s and on the racks. How do you feel about that? Because normally I think, you wanna ease into the week or you might do that,
hmm
like you said, on a Wednesday or a Friday. What is that like just for you personally?
Yeah, so it's definitely a little tricky. For me, I used to struggle with, I still do a little bit, but with some groin injuries.
Mm,
And it's usually from like lack of warm up. So it was
sure.
a little scary going right into full speed power and full
Right.
25s on a Monday morning.
Yeah.
But I've gotten better at warming up pre-practice and kind of getting into it. So I don't mind it. I think it's a good wake up.
Mhm.
It's not too difficult.
Okay.
Um, it's not easy at all, but it's not like the hardest practice we do.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good Monday morning set, and then I think it preps me well for the rest of the week because I do these 25s, and let's say I'm 11 highs on some 25 breaststrokes. I know that's going to prep me well for Wednesday night, which I feel like is kind of my main session to work
Mm,
on 100 speed or 100 back end speed.
mhm.
So I feel like Monday morning's kind of a good prep for the rest of the week.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I heard that, and yeah, my brain just ticked a little. I was like, "Oh, that's interesting," and not what I would have necessarily expected. But again,
hmm
I'm sure the coaches know what they're doing far more than I do. I was just curious about that. But then, you mentioned Jack Kelly. You mentioned just the very stout breaststroke training group you have throughout the week. Can you give me a little insight of just what this has added for you this season? Again, Baylor, Schultz, Modglin, sometimes Campbell,
hmm
Jack. I mean, you have so many new faces that you didn't have last year, and I have to imagine that impacts you in practice.
For sure. I think it probably impacts 200 pace the most. I feel like when I do
Yeah,
100 pace practice, it's just you just rip. That's
yeah,
same with like racing 100 breaststroke. I think I could do that with or without competition. So I
mm,
think it makes the biggest impact on Monday nights when we're doing our 200 pace. Um, like some of those sets we do, I could not get through them if I was alone. So I remember there was this one set we did, which I still didn't quite get through, but it was all the 50s were on 50, and it
okay,
was 250s easy, 250s pace, 250s easy, 450s pace,
mhm,
250s easy, 650s pace, 250s easy, and then 850s pace. And the
Okay.
pace is just it's as fast as you can go or as fast as you can hold for the whole thing. So
Yeah.
sets like that, like those are tricky for me, especially near the back end of those sets. So having such a good group of guys, knowing that we're all doing it together, it definitely makes a difference.
What are you trying to hold on those, or what do you end up holding on those?
I think on that set in particular, I was out a little too fast. I think I was 26s
Mhm.
on the first two and four. I was 26s on
Okay.
almost all of them. And then I was like 27s and kind of got up to 28s and maybe finished with some 29s on those last those last eight.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if I could hold 26s the whole time, that'd be amazing. And that's the goal, right? That's what I'm trying to
Right.
do. But it does get a little tricky towards the back half.
In a set like that, or in that specific set, what again? What are you trying to focus on? Is it are you thinking, all right, hold stroke count? Are you thinking just race the guys next to me? Are you thinking just try to hit 26s? Like where's your mind at?
So yeah, feel like I swim so much breaststroke. I know the time I go before I touch the wall.
Mm,
And it's all based off of stroke count and tempo for me.
mhm.
So again, I basically treat pull outs as max effort every time. Uh, you only get a couple of them, so I think you should use them.
Yeah.
And then the swimming, it's all stroke count for me. So on a 200 pace set, I do 5 strokes, 5 strokes. And then as I'm getting more tired, I might go 5, 6.
Mhm.
Uh, and pick up the tempo a little bit to try and hold on. But yeah, during that set, I'm really focused on stroke count. And then towards the end of the set, I pick it up a little bit, and that's when you kind of got to start just racing the guys
Yeah.
and digging deep.
Yeah, using everything around you, or
Hmm.
utilizing your resources.
For sure.
So speaking of the pace work, how did you were let me see here. I've got it. I think you were at the Texas Hall of Fame last weekend. You were 149.8 in the 200 breasts. You were also
Hmm.
141.6 in the 2 IM. How did you feel about your other races that weren't that 49.700 breast?
Yeah, so we can start with 200 breast.
Yeah.
Um, I want to be aggressive out because I know I have the speed for it, so I just want to use it. I think I was a little too aggressive. I think
Mm.
I can. So I was out 51.5, I believe, or 51.6, something
Okay.
around there, which is
Yeah.
basically what I was at NCAA's. My splits were pretty similar.
Okay.
But it was a little too aggressive. I think I can have a bit more easy speed and take it out like a 51 high.
Mm.
Um, because that last 50, honestly, that last 75, I see Schultz kind of creeping up on me. His back end is usually the best part of his race. Um, so 100 breasts, I took it out a bit fast. I was probably a bit too aggressive. I think it's still a great swim for mid season. I was nowhere close to this last season. I was a 152 at our Hall of Fame last year. So pretty good improvement, I'd say.
Yeah.
So I'm not too bummed about it that it wasn't a best time. Um, I'm I'm looking more towards the end of the year, and I think I'll be all right by then. And also, it was Schultz had a great race. 149.5 for him is amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Was it different? Was it how did you feel about racing again the 100, I guess your first day of racing, and then the 200 your second day of racing with this new event schedule for the NCAA?
I think so. I think the event lineup definitely hurt some people. Like
Mhm.
I was gonna say Maj. He had a great 100 breast though, but
Yeah.
not being able to do two back on
Yeah.
the last day for him definitely hurt. But for me, I think it was honestly best case scenario
Mm.
because my event order of like how good I am at them is 100 breast, 200 breast, 200 IM. So it
Uh-huh.
goes right in that order. Racing 200 IM on day one of NCAA's. I mean, it was all right. It it made it a little tricky because it was before my 100 breast. I don't think it really affected me that much, not with the way we train. We prepare ourselves for that. But I do think it's kind of best case scenario that it goes 100 breast, 200 breast, 200 IM.
Yeah. Nice. Well, congrats to you then.
Yeah, thank
Uh,
you.
it is, yeah, I feel like no one or they're never going to get an event lineup where everyone's happy, but it's always good if they change it that, you know, you personally are happy.
I know for
But
sure.
yeah. And so just with that 200 breast, I a race that stands out in my mind is your 200 breast from NCAA's last year, where you were in the B final. You had a huge swim. One was that your best time, 149 at the
Yep.
time, and you kind of definitely seemed to energize the Longhorns with that swim as well, who were in the thick of battling for a
hmm
team title. Do you feel like you does that? I'm just curious. Does that race stick with you, or have you carried anything from that swim particularly into this season with you with the 200 breast?
For sure. I mean, that was my first time under 50,
Mhm.
and at SECs last year, I was out 51.6,
Okay.
and then I had a pretty it wasn't a bad back half, but I went like a 150.5, I believe.
Okay.
So to take it out the same at NCAAs and have the ability to bring it back, gave me some good confidence to know that I am capable of taking it out that fast.
Mm.
So I definitely, yeah, I'm carrying into the season. I know, I mean, I have in my mind what I'm capable of if I have the perfect swim. I just need to, continue training. We'll get a good winter training block under our feet, and yeah, prep us for SECs and NCAAs.
Yeah. With and then with the 200 IM, just how much of a I know you said it's kind of your third priority or third maybe event focus, but just in training, how does that manifest? How does your focus on that event end up manifesting for you on a week to week basis?
Um, so honestly, I don't train much stroke work besides breaststroke.
Okay.
So we do freestyle colors, which I'm usually pretty good at. I think that kind of helps. I have a pretty big freestyle background from high school and my freshman year of college. So we do freestyle colors, so that kind of covers the aerobic aspect of it.
Hmm.
And then, I mean, I have plenty of breaststroke training, but I don't specifically train backstroke or butterfly. So it's a little tricky. I'm trying to get the technique in the race sometimes or fix some stuff in the race. I don't think the fly is too affected by it. I think I have the speed. I can just take it out, which is what I did at what we just had. I think I was out 21.4. So I was plenty fast for that.
Yeah.
I just have to work on the backstroke split. I think I could incorporate a bit more backstroke into the training.
Hmm.
I think it would probably help. But as of now, we don't. Me personally, I don't do too much IM focused training.
Yeah. Is that, I mean, do you prefer that? Did you have input in that? Especially because I'm guessing you did quite a bit more of it in high school or just coming
hmm
into Texas?
Yeah. So in high school and my freshman year of Texas, I didn't train breaststroke, but I think I have the natural like technique or
Mhm.
ability for it. So in my IM, it was already good. I was like, I don't really need to train it. So my main focus was freestyle and backstroke.
Mm.
Um, so I think that definitely helped out my 200 IM a lot more, having that backstroke training under my belt. I definitely like the switch. I think I don't like to say it, but I think breaststroke is one of the easier strokes. So it's a little less mentally taxing to train it
Yeah.
than what I've done in the past, training freestyle and backstroke. Those are definitely really hard strokes. They're very taxing. So I do like the switch. Um, the 200 IM that I did at this invite was one of the fastest 200 IMs I've done since my freshman year. So I think that does give me a, a little bit of boost in confidence that I still have it in me. I didn't have the best 200 IMs last year. I was a 142 at NCs. I didn't final. I was a 140, 142 or 143 at SECs.
Mhm.
Um, so I think going 141 does give me a bit more confidence. And I do like training breaststroke, but I think going forward into SECs and NCAAs, I won't be opposed to adding a bit of backstroke into that regimen.
Yeah. What would you attribute that 141.6 to, or just how did you break down that race? What did you like about it?
Um, I think I just have to get out there. So,
Okay,
like my races at NC's last year, I don't remember the exact splits, but I do not think I was out 21-4.
gotcha.
And I think I have the speed to be able to take it out that fast, and I think I should. And I do. We also have the aerobic capacity to hold on. So I think I just need to become a bit more confident in taking out the 2 IM fast and just holding on and digging deep at the end to see what I have left.
Yeah. Are you primarily training with Bob?
So let's see. Last fall, I was basically with Bob the whole time,
Okay.
and then as in like my sophomore year fall,
Yeah.
and then I started transitioning a bit into Trevor's group,
Mhm.
more of the sprint focus. Um, and then after trials in the summer, Bob told me my training would be a bit different. So we got back this year and we did 5 weeks of Bob Bowman practices, and it was the hardest 5 weeks of my life.
Okay.
So, but then we did end up switching. So I'm
Okay.
definitely in Trevor's group. A good portion of the time I'm in Trevor's group. Monday morning, Monday night is the whole group is combined. I'm with Trevor on Tuesdays. Wednesday morning, everyone's combined. I'm with Trevor on Wednesday night. Thursday morning, we're all combined. Um, but Thursday morning and Wednesday morning sometimes too, they have different groups like apples, oranges, and oranges will do like 7K and the apples will do 6. So I'm usually in the lower end of the group. But
Okay.
yeah, so currently I'm with Trevor, I'd say the majority of the time.
Gotcha. Okay. What what prompted Bob to say your training would change?
I think I was kind of going through it a little bit
Okay.
mentally. I think um yardage training, I can do it to an extent, but I think there's a breaking point for me.
Mm,
And I've definitely reached that a couple times with Bob. I know
okay.
it's for the better. Right, it's given me a really good base, so
Okay.
that I can join Trevor's group and still have the aerobic capacity to do the 200 breast and 200 IM.
Mhm.
Um, so he said there was going to be something different. It was after I got third in the 100 breast, and I was pretty disappointed. So it might have been to lighten the mood a little bit as well. But yeah, so but things are looking up right now. Trevor's group is great. I think we're probably gonna have a bit more of a combined group for a little bit over winter training. We'll see how it all pans out, but I'm ready for whatever he throws me.
Yeah, I would it makes sense to hear that the volume might get turned up over the next month or
Yeah,
2,
probably.
right, for winter. But all right, yeah, again, I have a few follow-ups. You mentioned US trials, you getting 3rd in that 100 breast, but then you get to go to Berlin
Yep.
to World University Games. Can you just tell me a little bit about your experience there, and again, maybe some takeaways that you've carried into this season, from that Team USA international racing experience?
Berlin was super fun.
Yeah.
So it was my technically my second uh out of country meet. I went to Mel Zajac my junior year,
Oh,
and it
nice. Yeah.
was it was it was funny because it was kind of full circle because Mel Zajac I went with Maj and Baylor, and then for Wugs we were all together again.
Yeah.
And for Maj,
Nice.
that was his second international meet as well. So we're kind of following a similar path. But yeah, it was a great experience. It's good to get international racing. Um, you meet some cool people, some names I haven't heard of, and make some friends. And yeah, it's a good experience, I think.
Yeah. Did you do you feel like you had maybe not even just in the racing, but in the preparation for it or in the, racing, what was it, a 6-day meet? Like
It was
learning
long.
how yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, learning how to race that often or get through a meet that is that long. Do you feel like you had takeaways or like reminders of, "Oh, okay, this is what I need to do to best prepare myself for optimal racing for this amount of time?"
for sure. I mean, for a meet like that, I think we were gone for 10 days,
Yeah.
which is the longest I've ever been gone. I think I was gone for 10 days for the US trials,
Okay.
but that's a long time to be gone. So it's a good reminder just to take care of yourself. You know, you can't just like eat poorly or not hydrate the first couple days and expect that your body's going
Yeah.
to be prepared to race on day 10 or the 10th day that you're there. So it's definitely good practice for that type of stuff. But also, I think we get practice even like for 2 or 3 day meets, even dual meets. Like just knowing how to hydrate the day before or hydrate on the plane while you travel. I think it's all good practice for sure. But yeah, a 10-day meet definitely makes you take care of yourself.
Yeah. No, I mean, it makes sense, and I'm even as a member of the media when we're covering those meets, even when I'm at home, I'm like, "Okay, I have to be on it," because, like, it's so easy to get sick by the end of that or just so easy to,
Yeah,
like you are on day 6 or 7 or 8, and you're like, "Why am I exhausted?"
yeah,
Um, it's a lot, so no, I'm always just interested to hear how people handle that and if they have their routines. And I know certainly for athletes, everyone does. Um, but it's good to hear about because it can be long and it can be
for
taxing.
sure.
Yeah. So going back to the Texas team and this season, uh, being the defending NCAA champions, this is your first time being in that boat. Has that given the team a different aura? Has it given you a different feel going into dual meets, especially with so many newcomers that will probably be scoring at this year's NCAAs, or just that it's their first time on the team and they weren't a part of that team title last year?
Yeah, I think we definitely had a positive view coming into this year. But one thing that Bob tells us all the time is you can't be complacent. Um, so we can't just assume that we're the best. We can't assume that we're going to win all these dual meets. We can't assume that we're going to put however many up in an A final. We can't
Mhm.
assume any of that. We have to train as if we aren't the best, and uh, we can't let winning last year define who we are this year. So I think we definitely wrote it a little bit, but a big part of this year is that we can't get complacent and we have to continue working as if we're the underdog.
Mm. Has the new NCAA championship format affected you guys at or just affected the way you approach training at all? Again, like not knowing that if you place ninth to 16th in prelims, no second swim, or just the event lineup, has that changed how you personally have approached training or how your coaches have formatted your training in any way?
Me personally, I don't think it's changed too much.
Mhm.
I mean, my goal isn't to be final, so
Fair
never,
enough.
never has been. I think, I mean, I'm assuming on a case by case basis with swimmers, it's affected them a little bit.
Mhm.
Um, but overall, we're probably approaching it the same way. I mean, NCAAs and SECs, it's one in the prelims. So if get 3 up in 2 down, that's a good prelims versus, having however many in the B final, but they're doing really well, and they win the B final. It's better to have those good prelim swims. So I think that's still the goal at the end of the day, is to
Mhm.
get as many up into the A final as we can. Um, a big part of last year, I remember Bob would have speeches and talks with us, um, in between sessions. And if we had a lot of B final swimmers, he would say, like, now's your chance to move up. You have to take advantage of this opportunity. We have to get these extra points. If it's 1 or 2 extra points per B final, that can, be 10, 15 points by the end of the day. So I guess we won't really be having those talks anymore. And it'll be more
Yeah.
directed at just performing in the morning and getting your job done in the morning so that you don't have to worry about it in the finals.
Yeah. Do you see that play out in practices at all? Like, do you guys, if or when you do suit up for practices, is that in the mornings or is that mostly in the afternoons?
It's usually in the afternoons, actually. So we'll suit
Mhm.
up. Sometimes we'll suit up on a Wednesday.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, usually in the afternoons is when we would do a suited practice. But I don't think that takes away from any of it really, because we have so many dual meets and so many opportunities to have fast morning swims at meets, where we're taking advantage of that. So I think we're still getting plenty of training, to race fast in the morning, and to get the job done.
Yeah. So, going back to this, kind of new breaststroke focus for you, or mostly training breaststroke. If you're heading into one of the 200 pace sets or even 100 pace sets, how are you warming up? What drills have you found, or what methods have you found to get into your breaststroke in an ideal way?
Yeah, well, I always do a pre-practice warm up. So before I'm in the water,
Okay.
this could be like groin holds and stuff just to kind of activate it.
Mhm.
Um, or like sumo squat to stands to kind of stretch out, my hips. But then in the water, uh, if we're given like an open warm up, just
Mhm.
to get ready for a fast effort or a challenge set, um, I'll do my meet warm up, and within that meet warm up, I do probably my favorite drill for breaststroke is, 2 kicks, 1 stroke. I think
Mhm.
it helps me get into a good line. Um, Something I need to work on a bit more, so I think I should probably focus a bit more on it when I do that drill. Uh, I have the power to go fast. I just need to hit the glide more, and I think that'll help my 200 a lot. That's one of my favorite drills. I do breaststroke with flutter kick to work on hand speed. That's usually before like my hundreds. I won't do that for a 200. It's a little taxing if you're doing it at pace.
Mhm.
Um, and then another thing I do, this is especially for 200 pace, or for if I'm gonna like race a 200 at a meet, I'll do breath control pullouts. So I'll do, a whole pullout underwater. It'll be like I'll do 3 pullouts, but I'll do the whole 25 underwater. You take a breath of the turn, and then you do the whole 25 back. And I'll just do like 450s like that. And I think it helps kind of feel the burn that you're gonna feel on the last couple pullouts of that 200,
Mhm.
when you're really running low on oxygen. So I think that's some good prep. And then along with feeling the burn and kind of getting your lungs open, it's just good pull out work. So I can work on my line, and I can work on getting good power from my pull, or, from the dolphin kick. So, I think that kind of hits, both breath control and good body position.
Yeah, I like it. I've never heard of that before, but that sounds awful, honestly.
It's a little tricky. It's
Yeah.
my least it's my least favorite part of the warm up, but
But hey, like you said, it gets you ready.
for sure.
Nice. Um, All right. Yeah, again, I'm always just curious about people's routines and how you guys are, preparing to do what you do in the water. Now coming off of Invite, you've got the rest of the season. You'll be back in Austin after Thanksgiving. So this coming week, are you racing at US Open?
Yeah, I think the majority of us are. We don't know what we're doing yet, but I kind of have a guess. I'm
For
sure I can
sure.
figure it out. But yeah, the majority of us will be racing.
Nice. How do you feel about getting in some long course race reps?
It'll be good. I mean, I don't believe I had the chance to do that last year.
Mhm.
So Um, it's good. I do like long course. I know short course is really fun. It's fun to go fast and it's fun to just do pullouts. But um, long course is kind of the end goal,
Yeah.
for swimming. So I think it's good to get the reps in. Um, I do need to work on my stroke count a bit for long course, so that's probably what will be my main focus at the US Open coming up. Um, So for like we were earlier talking about breaststroke, it's all about stroke count for me for short course. I take 4, 6, 6, 7. And I think I need to kind of figure that out a bit better long course.
Mhm.
Um, just because then you're not spamming strokes, you're not taking too few strokes. You have the routine down and you do the routine and you know it's gonna be a good swim. So that's kind of my focus leading into this meet.
Do you guys train long course especially during the college season?
So we haven't been recently, no. The
Okay.
first 5 weeks when we were all combined, getting into shape, we were doing long course, and it was very hard. But as we've transitioned into meets, it's more short course oriented. Um, as we go forward, I assume we'll add more long course into our schedule. That's kind of what we did last year,
Mhm.
just leading into the summer. And just to prep us a bit better. Uh, and also over winter training, long course is like Bob's best friend. So it'll be. I'm sure we'll incorporate some of it. But as of now, no, we haven't been doing much long course.
Yeah. Yeah, I always find it interesting what the balance is for each college program for, yeah, long course versus short course and when you're going to put it in. I'm sure, yeah, winter training, it'll ramp up. Do you guys get the majority of it in before Christmas, after Christmas? I guess probably both.
Yeah, so we'll definitely build up into it, but then we leave on December 20th.
Mhm.
So I don't I mean, it's going to be hard this next month for sure. Uh, but I think the main kind of 2 week block is right after we get back, and that's when things really ramp up.
That's when the hammer drops. Gotcha.
Yeah,
um, well, cool. Well, Nate, I appreciate you taking the time to sit down and chat and talk about your midseason and your season in general. So thank you for joining us, and I hope the rest of the season goes well for you.
yeah. Thanks for having me.
You've been listening to the Swim Swam podcast. Stay tuned for new episodes every week. You can take Swim Swam podcast on the go by subscribing on your favorite podcast platform. Look for links in the description below, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more videos as well.